Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Welcome back once again to, a early morning edition. Not a return of the Wednesday morning stream, I should say. So, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's doing a great morning. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get on. Good morning, 3D Vince. How you doing? I should just really say Vince. How you doing this morning? Thanks for coming in. I really do appreciate it. Everyone that comes in all the time. So I'm just getting everything all set up here. I'm letting everything load up here so we can start working on some stuff. Yeah, how do I delete this now? I can't remember how to delete an item in my list, but you know what? So we are creating a new design today. I'm just going to get that up and running. So we're going to be playing around with Tinkercad today. Now, a lot of people don't like Tinkercad. They say it's cheap. It's not really that great. I can see where the point is that it's cheap and it's not really that great, but I do see a lot of advantages to Tinkercad over, say, something like Fusion 360, which is made by the same company. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. I'm going to be talking about what I'm building, and we'll get that done in a few more minutes. I'm just waiting to make sure that anyone else is coming on that's going to be able to get in. Okay, that's working good. Get back to me. This battery is almost ready to kilt over. I can hardly even read the description on my thing. It keeps changing. Yeah, I think the battery just died on my calipers. Now they're working again. The calipers are acting weird. I think the battery's starting to die on them. Okay, so what am I building? Well, let's first start off with Tinkercad because it's such a great little program. If you ever messed around with Tinkercad, it's great for doing a easy, quick design, exactly, 3D events, and just making something out of nothing. And that's your word plate you're seeing right there. Hey, Red Light, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So, as you guys know, I got a little bit more into amateur radio, and I do, yeah. It's another hobby to get into. It's a lot of fun, actually. There's nothing like hitting Germany and you're chatting to them on 40 meters and you're just like going, how is this possible? It's just the way skip bounce propagation's getting better. We're starting to get further out. So yeah, the bands are starting to open up, which is great to see. So anyways, here's my antenna right here. This is what we call the tactical whip antenna. You can see it's pretty damn long. It is I think 18, if I remember correctly. There is one that's actually fairly large. It's about 40. I think the size was 48 centimeters for a tactical antenna. Now, the reason they call these tactical is because they're thin. They can be used as a weapon. If you're using it as a weapon, basically it's more of a, I don't know if I can get this out. So going like this to somebody, so I'm taking the end of it, I'm hitting it like that. There's a lot of force in that. But because it's also bendable, no, that does not wreck the antenna at all. You can do it like that. You can go like this if you feel like that. If you want something like that. So you have many different ways of adjusting this antenna. And usually there's a tie wrap. Well, my tie wrap got caught on something and I lost it. So that's why I have this little piece of Velcro. But I went, well, since I am a 3D printer, why don't I just print a clip that I can easily attach to my hand strap, which is right here, which is easy enough to loop through, and then have it also available that I can, just have it and just go put my antenna in, slide in, and just hold it straight. So it got me deciding on what format should I use. Should I use a square or should I use a circle? And that was something I was thinking about. Now, a square would allow me to be a little bit more dimensional, crazy. I can do cuts and make it what I need. The other object is delete here. Was me, I want to go cylinder. Go with an oval type design, which gives me that nice roundness. But then we run into another problem. The antenna is almost like a leaf idea. So it's very thin, has some curving on this side and on this side, but because you're folding it, then we're going to have this round thing around it like this. So it's bigger. I was thinking, no. So I think we're going to go with a square, just make it simple today. So then you're going to probably ask me, well, what dimensions are we looking at? Well, I want to keep it about there. That's fully with it on either side, lengthwise, is approximately about 36 millimeters. Well, if I put it together, I can even cut it down more, and I can make it 23. So, no, I guess it does look like a tactical tape measure, I guess. But it's like, okay, well, I can make it 23 or 24, I should say. Yeah, 20. Let's say 24 for a round number here. So we'll make this 24. Now, what will be the width? That's another question we have to look up. Hey, Rob Mac, if I didn't say hi to you yet, hey, man, thanks for coming in. I do appreciate it. So the width across the band, 16. So let's make that 17 across. 17, 18, 19. Because I got to figure out for a space in between. I'm thinking maybe it's not going to be paper thin. So my thing just turned on again. Batteries need to be replaced in this. We're right at 20. I think 20 should be okay. Actually, I forgot to do one other measurement. The top of this has a plastic knob on the top. Right there. How big is that one? $19. So make that 21, I guess. The 1 meter diameter in between. Yeah, let's make that 19. It's 19, so let me 21. Doesn't look that big, does it? No. Let's zoom in a little bit on this. Height. Turn that to 10 for the time being. Okay. Now we got to make this thing hollow. So I'm thinking dimensions on here are 21 by 20, 24 by 21. We should make this 20 by 23. Yeah, let's go 23. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. We can't do 23 because that's an odd number. And this is 24 across, right? 21 by 24. Yeah, so we can't make this one 23. That would be an odd number. So let's make that 22. $21 divided by subtract by 2 is, so if I make this actually 22, oops, one number. I made this way too big. We'll just rebuild it again. Pound sign hash browns. What the heck? I don't even know what they're talking about anymore. Those two, they always like yakking to each other, so let them yak around chat channel, let them talk, let them have their hashtags. So what do you think of that, guys? Pretty on center, wouldn't you say? It's like we got enough gap in between. Yeah, I think that works. Cuts right through the bottom. Actually, I'm going to take this. I'm going to slam it right through just to make sure it cuts directly down into it. At least those two are having fun. So that works right there, I would say. Simple, easy design. And this is what Tinkercad's made for. It's made for you to whip up a design right away and be able to print it with ease. So we'll just say the hole is there. We'll just say the door is ajar, and we will do a grouping. So what it does, it makes a slice into the solid. And there you are. Nice hole right in the center. Now we can have some more fun here. You know what? I should have done this. I should have done the other one I wanted to do. Oh well. A whole tag. Oh, I'm not even going to get into that. Okay, so we got to grab another box here. Because not only are we going to do that, we're going to put a divider in here. We all do, I think, Mac. I think we really do like Tinkercad, and the way that works, it makes it a lot easier when you just need to design that one thing that you need. Just get that back up above ground. Now you can slam the thing down if you want to, but I just find it's easier just keeping it level on the build plate whenever I'm working on stuff. And we said we were going to make that 10. So I'm turning this to 10. Boom. Okay. I need the length to be what? What did we say the length was on this again? Across? 23, didn't we? Yeah. 24. So we'll make this. Now, yeah, I could cut 2 separate blocks and made it easier, but I was thinking, no. So where am I putting this across? What's okay? There's the 24. So I'm going to reverse this to at least 90. There we go. Oh, oops. Now my design looks like the symbol from the freaking American hero. Greatest American hero. That's not what I wanted. And yes, I'm old enough to get that reference. Believe it or not, da 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 da. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's try something here. Let's make this across. $22. So we got this facing the wrong way because that should be across the street. That 20. That. What did we say it was going to be? Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. What did we say this was across? Didn't we say this was across here is 24? And then across here, so this is 24. Oh, I got it facing the wrong way. So that's going to be 22. That's right. So we'll make this 22. There we go. So why am I making like this thing that looks like yeah, I don't need to show that code. Grab this. I'm going to drag it across a little bit more. I think right there looks more even than anything else. It doesn't have to be exactly even. The idea is that this plastic piece is going to fit in between here and hold the antenna like that. Keeping it that when I need it, I can just easily go like this and let the plastic piece sit at the bottom here. So bottom width at the bottom of these antennas is what? 17. So 18. Well, I guess in most classes, really, I would be just want to fold it and slide it in. So we're going to cut an opening on one end, actually. So let's set this just for now. There, it's now one solid piece. I'd like to know what the distance is in between these, but that's going to cost a little bit of calculations and trying to figure it out, but it's not worth it right now. Let's use a box. Oh, you met Kit. What's his name? Kit something. I can't remember his last name. The actor who played the Greatest American Hero. That's kind of cool. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. There we go. We're just gonna make a cutout here. We're looking at probably cutting right here and making an opening so that when I have the antenna and I have it like sitting on here, I just go and then I'll just hold it in there without it actually popping back out. So because this antenna can be turned like this and can slide in, that works. Okay, let's see what we can do there. Think 10 enough? 10 millimeters should be more than enough, I would think. Even 5 would be more than enough. Let's have a look. Calipers are right here, so we're going to go to 10. We can clear that out. That's 10. That should be more than enough for my antenna when I kink it like this and I turn it like this. Yeah, there's a lot of clearance right there. So we should be okay. Don't forget, guys, if you have access to coming on the channel, I do have links set up in the Discord. So if you're a Discord user, if you're not already, look at all my other videos. I have the Discord link on there, and become a member and join us. We're always a friendly bunch of people. Well, may not Mr. Buttram. I'm just kidding with you, man. No, Mr. Buttram's cool. Honestly, 100%. Doesn't look dead center. But I think an opening of 10 would be more than enough. Let's go and compile it. Just change that name. I gotta look up the actual name of the type of antenna this is, because it has a weird name. The Abri foldable. The Abri foldable antenna. Called the foldable antenna clip. CLIP, yeah, clip, whatever. Because all you're going to be doing is, first of all, this hole is great because then what I can do is I can put it on here, slip it through, and just do like a ring slip and just tie it on, so I never lose it. Second of all, I can slide it on here, fold, and put it in like so that it holds this together like that. So it's a little long on one side, a little big on the other side. What do you guys think? Yeah, maybe right. Well, especially when I'm using. Let's see here. $22. We made this 10, so 10 on 22. Yeah. Kind of hard to make that even, eh? I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Think it works? That looks really good. But we can do something kind of neat. Now, in Tinkercad, now I know you can do a chamfer on most other design programs like in Fusion 360. It's simple. Just grab it and just apply it. In Tinkercad, it's a little bit more trickier. So I'm definitely going to put this off to the side here. So move it off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a copy of this. This one we want to keep, so I'm going to put off to the side here. This is going to be our test subject. So we're going to make 22. So let's do that. Hey, Colin's on channel 2. We'll bring Colin in.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Not too bad. Just showing people how to make a chamfer inside of Tinkercad.
That's not something I've ever even attempted.
That's pretty interesting thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up my old chamfer program, actually. Because I've done it. My friend showed me how to do this in Tinkercad. So let's go down.
Whereas I would go into any...
Well, more like a fillet, actually, is what it turns out to be. So I'll go here. Do this. So what you do is you basically make a block and you use your cylinder key. Then what you do is you take that block, you find the angle you want that at, you figure out the angle that you want. That looks pretty good. There you go.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but if you just want to make it look nice, well, there's a little trick.
Now there's another shape there called like curved edge cubes, right?
Well, either you have cubes or you have cylinders. That's it.
Now, if you go down to advanced shapes, there's a curved edge square or a curved edge cube or something like that. I think.
What did I see here? Your shape generator, dinosaurs, skeletons, components, assemble.
Okay, maybe I'm mistaken. I recall there being something like that, but
Wow, you can even make yourself a chair.
Today's video is really...
All right, now I have to go look and figure it out. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it in here.
A rounded corner. I think they call it rounded cube or something. Let's see. Anyway, no, that of course would not give you the option to change the angle of the curve or anything else. It would just give you a generic rounding.
Yeah. But there's one way of doing it if you, if you got nothing, if you don't want to bring it into, make it simple and just bring it into Tinker and just do it in Tinkercad only,
There are actual legitimate cases where I felt the need to go back to do things in Tinkercad. Like when I get something that's an STL file that I can't get the original CAD files or step files and don't feel like converting it back into a step file through FreeCAD or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to operate on STLs directly.
Oh, it is. This is what, and as I was saying, like Tinkercad has its needs,
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh, Tinkercad is just cheap; it's useless." Why would they make something that's useless? I was like,
no,
they made it because they want.
It makes perfect sense to have a tool like this because they want to cater to every niche of the or every level in the market. And Adobe, not Adobe, Autodesk does an excellent job of that. I mean, they have a tool, an introduction tool for children, or the hobbyist, the uninterested. What's the nice way of putting this? The somewhat unmotivated hobbyist. I don't know, but the point is, it's really a children's toy, but it's meant to bring kids into learning computer-aided design, and then of course they have everything in that caters to every other niche in the production design tool chain. I mean, they've got Fusion 360, of course, for the more serious hobbyists or hobbyists with bigger heftier requirements, and then they now own Eagle, which is a circuit design, a PCB design tool, and of course they have Tinkercad circuits now, which is the children's toy version of Eagle, which is kind of cool, in which you can actually drop an Arduino onto a board and build your circuit around it, and then write Arduino code that will be run and simulated within the tool. Within the tool itself. It's very cool. That's all web-based. That's kind of neat. Now, I'm still trying to get...
how do I move this back out now?
I'm still trying to get logged into Tinkercad here. I feel like I need to now go find this shape. Oh, I did this in Tinkercad.
That's what I was looking for. 0.5. 5.5. There we go.
Here's one of those cases where I guess I could share screen here somehow. Maybe.
Don't need this block to be this big, but I'm just going to shorten this down here.
Huh. Well,
Join that group in that. Good. Group. There we go. Now what we do, we take this and we are going to turn that into a hello. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
how did that actually work? It did. Wow.
What thing you were trying to do wouldn't work?
Oh, I wanted to see whether or not, and this is an issue of StreamYard, I wanted to see whether or not you could, on a Mac, allow StreamYard to capture a Google tab without granting the Google tab record permissions within the OS. And you can, which I'm not sure what that means relative to that permission setting within the operating system. But anyway, no, I pulled up a Tinkercad thing I did, which is an example of a good use of Tinkercad for quick and dirty modification of an existing STL. But I was going to try and find the rounded cube shape here. Wedge, sphere. Ah,
oops. Turned it the wrong way. Wrong 90.
Oh, that's dice. That's not, that is in fact a rounded cube, but it's not what I
There we go.
meant. Basic shapes. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this shape generators thing now. They're doing brick walls and buildings and so on. I guess they expect people to do like previs kind of stuff in here, which I guess is not what children would do in here, but circuit assemblies.
Maybe make it available to kids so they can understand it a little bit more, probably.
Sure, but some of this stuff is just rather weird choices.
Mm.
Oh, softbox. That's what they call it now.
They call it the word playing softbox?
No, the shape. It's a box with rounded edges. They call it a softbox. I don't know why.
Weird.
Well, I'm sure there's some logic to it, but it's, why would you? Anyway, it obviously doesn't allow you the level of flexibility that you would have with your approach. But then again, doing it in Onshape is like a one-click operation. What degree do you want for curvature, and just do it. But that was my frustration with Onshape, was whenever I wanted to actually accomplish something definitively, I could do it so much more easily in FreeCAD, OpenSCAD, FreeCAD, Fusion 360, or Onshape, which I still use. I guess I shouldn't because they've rearranged their licensing, but I'm not doing anything for profit anyway. Yeah, I mean, occasionally there are still cases where Tinkercad comes in handy.
Yep.
But
right now,
this is my case to the my electronics case that I printed for my printer that went to Earth, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it on the screen right now.
Yeah, I basically this back case that was a push a friction fit with these little legs. I needed to add something to these tabs to allow me to screw it into to bolt it onto the extrusion, which of course was pretty simple, and without having to Tinkercad was one of the only tools that would let me do it without first converting the STL back into a step file or something like that. So it was relatively few steps, and it got done. I also did that the impossible dovetail cube that I did was also done in Onshape.
Nice.
Where I just imported a bunch of STLs, sliced and diced them, and then put them back together.
Slice and dice, and then bam.
Yeah, except there's nothing in Onshape that will let you do an offset, which is kind of irritating.
Well, that is a pain.
At least that I've found. Which means when you go to print the thing, you end up doing lots and lots of sanding. So choose your tools wisely.
Oops.
Let's see here. Is it going to let me switch to shape here. Now I guess I gotta
No.
disconnect and then reconnect here, or switch screen shares. 1 second here. Um, and then I'm just gonna stop that screen share and come back in and do this screen share. And
So I make the fillet. I'm just going to make the cut here. Group. Boom. There's a nice little edge right there.
well, it's neat that it works.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that with each one. That's why I made 4. Once you make the one pillar, you just make copies of that pillar, and boom, you have instant cutters. You get your own fillet tools.
Yeah.
Or giving it a chamfer edge or whatever you want to call it. So it's a little bit of work, but it does a trick. And that's what, if you don't have any designing skills, this at least lets you get that nice little edge finish if you're not that great with programs like, that you can move them into. And that's all this is. It's just a little cheat trick, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, the trick is to find the balance between cheap tricks and easy to use programs and the easy way in more complex programs.
Yeah.
So this is my current little project. I came back from Earth having decided that I'm going to put a Mark III S style extruder onto my Prusa-ish bear. Then I said, self, as you do when you're talking to yourself, I said, self, you should do this in transparent PETG so that you can see the E3 hot end inside the thing. Which, of course, makes sense now that they switched to an IR filament sensor. You don't have to worry about blacking out everything for the laser sensor. So I got sidetracked on the first step to this, which was trying to find a brushless fan with a 24-volt brushless fan with a transparent housing. Couldn't find one, so I decided to print one. So here's the back of my fan housing. Here's my fan blades, and here's the front of my fan housing.
Now let's show you your screen in a second. Just give me a moment here. I'm just trying to fix something here. I lost a article that went flying halfway across my computer screen. I hate when that happens.
That's always annoying.
Yeah. I'll just delete it. I'll make another one. I'll put another one in place. Okay, let's go back to Colin's screen. So there's the fan.
So
like we're looking at right now.
So here's let's do this the other way. Let's at the top.
All right, Mac wants to show us something.
All right, here's
I'll bring him in.
Here's the bottom of the fan, the turbine, and the top. And so the only thing I haven't modeled in here, and I derived this from another guy's work, but I ended up modifying the. If you go back to my camera here, I ended up modifying the turbine so that I could fit the permanent magnet inside it correctly, and ended up modifying the back of the housing so that I could pop my PCB into it that is the stator of the motor. And it worked quite well. But I still need to design in some clips because having this just hold together with screws seems like a risky proposition.
Yeah. I'll bring Robbie Mac's audio in, but unfortunately he didn't turn on his microphone or anything, but he sent me a screen to add in. There we go. So he's now on, so we can now see him. So I'm just gonna make that full screen so it's easier for us to see it. Boom. Okay. So,
Okay.
oh, I see what he's done. Okay. So basically what he's saying is there's an option inside Tinkercad to make them just rounded as they are anyways.
Okay, so that's why they got rid of the rounded cube. They just added it as a parameter to the cube. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That is something I did not know they did recently. Thank you, Robbie Mac, for showing me that.
Or as my mother would say, they've changed the features in this program. I can't use it anymore.
Why won't you let me zoom in more? I think I bunkered up my program. Okay, I'm going to save it what it is. We're going to go back. Go back into it again. There we go. Uh-huh. Oh, wow. Somehow this program decided to go wonky on me. I hate when it does this. Now I can only see it from the bottom. I can't see it from the top.
Yeah, it's
there we go.
Click top. You just click on the box there, and it'll switch to that top view. Just double click on it.
Yeah, I just did that.
It's still zoomed way out, though. It'll zoom right into a normal size if you double click on it. Or at least it used to. Maybe they changed the feature on me again. Bastards.
That would suck.
Oh, yeah. How did you end up so zoomed out? I'm very confused.
It's the program. Every so often it gets confused, and sometimes you'll have to restart it. I found this has happened before. That's as much as I can zoom in all of a sudden.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Huh.
Yeah, it gets confused after a while. You start tinkering and it just goes, I don't know what to do anymore. And sometimes it's just, you got to close it and come back into it.
Yeah.
See?
I've been playing around with OpenJSCAD, which is distinct from OpenSCAD recently, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. Go to OpenJSCAD is, I guess they started as trying to be a competitor to OpenSCAD, or do OpenSCAD correctly as they saw it. But it's very much the same thing, but it can be run web-based, and it's entirely modular, so you can run it into a Node application, and you can build shapes in JavaScript and export them to STL with single commands and so on. It's very, very cool. And they have a whole bunch of I/O options. You can export STL, you can export OBJ, you can export what's the vector file, DWG or whatever. It's very cool stuff. I don't have a particular demo lined up, but it's very neat. That's the tool set I'm using to do my QR code generator.
Oh, great. Yeah, Tinkercad's gone cuckoo. See if I can open up another.
While you're sorting that out, let me get back here and demo something. Let's
There we go.
Yeah, it doesn't like that because we're not taking a difference of anything.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I'll be showing you guys what I'm working on, what I'm doing here. Tinker this.
So you can scale things up like so. You can
Okay.
and so on. It's very much like OpenSCAD, and actually they have an OpenSCAD compatibility layer you can use too.
Okay, I got it working again. Let's see. So share my screen again. Application window, that one. Yes. So there it is. I just pulled it back out of the one file and moved it into here. So here's the one with the rounded edge on that side. So I'm around on this side, and I will round them on the edges there. The only problem is because I have to round them at such a small angle, I got to change the sizes of these immensely.
So let's look at the properties for a cube and see what you can do using Robbie's settings that he showed us.
Sure. Okay, so we'll just bring in the cube.
I don't know if it allows you to do different angles or
allows you to change the radius, so you can make the edges. So you play around with radius, you can make them actually curved in.
Okay. What are the other settings there? I can't read it. The screen is a little small.
Steps. You can adjust your steps so you can have it smooth.
So that's okay. That's like precision. Okay.
Yeah, like right there, as
Yep.
you can see, there's a chamfered edge, and it just makes it side. If I turn the steps right to the max,
then you get a curve. Okay.
Then you get more of a curve-like look for it.
But it doesn't let you do it for a single edge. If you have an object, it'll do it for all edges of that object.
That's correct. So what I'm doing this is just for one. I just want the outer edge, but I don't want it on both sides. I just want it on one side. So that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is another way of doing it. Correct, right, Mike? But for what I was looking at, I just wanted it just on the top, on the top part only. But you could put two blocks together and put them together, and then
You could
chamfer the edges.
slap them on in an assembly fashion. That seems like the wrong way to go, too, though.
What to do what I'm doing, or to
No,
do it?
to use the multiple block method and use the inbuilt,
Yeah,
built-in chamfer mechanism. Again, it's just the limitations of of Tinkercad.
and
Yeah.
Tinkercad has its purposes, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we said, I mean, I'm in complete agreement there. It's useful when you need to do something quick and dirty, to just pump out a part that doesn't require a great degree of precision,
Yep.
and that you're not going to want to modify down the road. That's the one thing that really bugs me about Tinkercad is you've got the ability to undo, but you can't really arbitrarily go down the feature tree and adjust things,
Yeah.
which is a little weird, I think.
Well, I agree with you on that part, but
I mean, it seems like there must be a feature tree since you can undo. So why wouldn't you, expose it to people so they could just arbitrarily move around it? But more importantly, you can't undo once you've closed out that session. You can't undo past your current session.
yeah, that I would love to see them implement.
Yeah. Again, it seems like it's not a. Um, I mean, it seems like they have that data to begin with because they're assembling the shapes from all the arbitrary basic shapes that you've started with. So you'd think all of that feature data would still be there, and they're just choosing not to expose it. Again, I think they're just targeting kids.
Yeah, like this, I want it to be 9.5. So that brings it up a point. We can zoom in on that a little bit better. Okay.
Some features, though, on here they do very nicely. Like I was very impressed with the alignment features.
Ah, shoot, I lost that.
Ryan asks, "What did he miss?" I don't know. Depends when you left the office. I don't know. We talked about Onshape a little bit. We talked about OpenJS CAD a little bit, and now we're looking at the various features of Tinkercad again.
Yeah, we're just playing around with Tinkercad. So really, you didn't miss much, Mr. Betram.
What is it you're trying to build? What's the goal here?
Let me show you. So the idea for this was to build a clip. Let me go to my screen so you guys can see. There we go. I wanted to go there. Okay, so this is my antenna right here.
Mm-hmm.
Foldable. So I want to build a clip that I can put on this end. I can just slide it in and just hold it. Rather than having to rely on a Velcro or zip tie to hold this always in place, I want something that's going to be usable that I can easily just go like this, turn my antenna in, lock it in, and then just hold it.
So that's like a piece of spring steel. It's not spring steel, but it's
Similar to spring steel, yeah, exactly.
My question is it intended to remain in the folded shape for extended periods of time?
That's correct. It will be, yeah.
Like, but that design intent, you're not going to find that piece of the metal has been weakened or something somewhere down the road and it just falls apart on you.
No, these antennas were meant, they're called tactical antennas, and the idea is that it's supposed to be that you can compact them down, fold them up, but if you need the range, you got the range right there.
Okay.
And also they work good as a weapon like this. What me and my friend were doing, he's like wanted to test it. He's like, hit me over the head with it. So, I hit him over the head this way. He's like, that has a little bit of hurt, but I wonder what it would be like on this. And I whacked him like that. Actually hurt him big time. But he's like, nope, that's hard. That's really hard.
Now, is the tip of the antenna, does it have a bulbous portion to it, or?
Yeah, and that's why I measured that to be the
Okay,
opening
so you
for.
have to be able to slide over that. Okay.
Yeah. So the idea was I took the edge of this and cut a hole in it so that when it's sitting on here, I can easily go and slide it in.
Yeah.
So in turn, I'm turning the antenna sideways and sliding it in and then letting it sit in there. Now, they don't recommend you turn and fold them, but in the case of this, I can even just fold it and slide it down in there. But if I need it right away, I can easily just pop it out,
Well, I would think that you would want to slide it onto the antenna in the extended position down to the base of the antenna, fold it, and then slide it up to hold the fold. Is that way you don't need to bend the antenna in ways it's not meant to be bent?
So the clip is going to slide down to about here.
Okay, so your screen is still small relative to your shared screen, so I can't quite see what you're.
Okay, so let me go back to my
referring to.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, yeah.
So the antenna is going to go down like this. So just find an area, fold it, and put it down like that.
Right. Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of that clip.
Yes, I got that. But you're proposing to slide the clip over the top of the fold?
Of this. So the first clip, so the first half of the clip will go over this, and then I can fold it and slide it in like that.
Right.
Or I can slide it in like that.
Right, but what I don't understand is you say you need to bend it in a way it's not meant to be bent.
No, you can't like fold it. Like you can't, like you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Like I'm holding it right now.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, because that can leave a kink in the actual antenna.
But why would you said you would need to do that in order to get it into the clip?
For you to do this and do this, not a problem.
Yeah.
For me to do it, keep it like that, that's a problem.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. Okay.
I want to redesign the clip so it's sturdy enough.
I don't see why you would need to do that even as a step to get it into the clip. I would think you would slide the clip down to the throat of the antenna, the base of the antenna, and then fold it and then slide the clip up just enough to capture the tip of the antenna.
Like I said, this is just in case if I can't get to do it that way, I have another way to put the antenna in there.
Oh, okay. So you're I got it now. You're explaining why you have the open section of the.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm slow. I see. I still have my full cup of coffee here.
No. It's okay to not understand. I did that just because I said, what if, like what if I want to slide it in a little bit,
or yank it out quickly or something,
or I have to yank it out for some apparent reason, then I have that available to me.
Emergency chat session.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much emergency chat sessions come into ham radio.
I know. I've been there. I was getting a ham license, which I never actually followed through on. I studied for the test, and I never bothered to go and take the test. But back before they removed, in the U.S., they removed knowledge of Morse code as a requirement.
Yeah.
Now it's probably about 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But I thought about getting my ham license the year before they removed that requirement and didn't do it. And then I lost interest the year after they removed that requirement.
Hey, you're never too old to get your ham license.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now.
I have printers. I don't need ham licenses.
Yes, you do. Everyone needs a ham license.
Everyone needs a ham license? Okay.
Everyone needs a ham license. Like Smokey says, you can prevent forest fires. Well, you can do that with ham radio too.
Yeah.
And it's tasty too. You get to learn about all the new ham recipes too at the same time.
One of the first last mile internet solutions that I came across beyond dial-up was packet radio using a ham. A guy had used his set it up with his ham radio equipment and ran a directional antenna. Set it up as a fixed directional antenna pointed toward a frat house, and did packet radio. He got, I'm not sure what throughput he got. It was like half a T1, so it would be like 750 megabits or something like that. Is that right? No. Yeah. Is that right? No, I can't remember what it was. So anyway, it wasn't incredible, but it was a snazzy little last mile solution. So
yeah, and packet radio is still a thing to this day.
Yeah,
people still use it.
It was the first Wi-Fi, effectively.
Yeah, I guess you're right, actually.
Yeah, it beat out the next closest competitor, which I guess was Nextel had a modem card for laptops that was effectively a Nextel data-only phone type device that they were selling, and that was in like 2000 or something. And I can't remember what speeds that had, but it was like an HSDPA type speed or less. No, it was, yeah, that was 2G, so that must have been like modem speeds, dial-up modem speeds. Yeah, well, in that sense, Ryan, I would much prefer if I'm going to go get myself licensed to in that area, I would go for a Philly cheesesteak license. And if they, if they're requiring licenses, I guess that comes with a roadside stand or truck or something, right? So it would not be a bad life to run a food truck. It's big business.
That's going into 3D printing, go to food trucks,
Ham licenses, Philly cheesesteak licenses, food trucks. It makes perfect sense. I did this for Halloween. Let's see, where? Over here. Where the hell was my camera at? God damn it! Come on, camera.
Remember this from full screen now, have you?
Remember this from last year? The spider pumpkin robot thing?
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. I tried to print this thing on the CR10 last year, or the year before, whenever it was that I didn't have the Prusa. I guess it was 2 years ago now, right? When I forget when this thing first came out. Anyway, I didn't have the Prusa, and I didn't have my. I told you this is the translucent red PETG, but man, does it ever make a good pumpkin?
Yeah, it's not really translucent though.
I bought this and it said translucent red. I said, this will be awesome. The first thing I printed was this Adelinda dragon, right? It was like,
yeah,
it's not translucent red. It would have looked really cool if it was red.
It's more orange than red.
Right. So I've had this filament, and I've I've used it for garbage type test prints ever since, and now I have a print where that color is actually useful. So eventually, every film is of value. Speaking of which, I got that the Coex mystery PLA that I won off of Jim's thing, Edge of Text.
Hang on, mystery? Show it off so we know what the mystery is, so we can solve that mystery.
There's nothing mysterious about it. It's that. It's it's mystery PLA, mystery being the color. And that meaning that it's a transition roll. But the interesting thing about this transition roll is clearly they were going from white to red, and only the first 10 wines are red.
Oh,
the other 10 wines are red. Everything else is white. So I've got these few little pinkish parts, and everything else is going to come out white, which is great because I got like 3/4 of a kilogram of perfectly white filament.
my only problem with that is when you say that, it's like, okay, well, that's going to be really.
Well, no, use it for test parts, right? I'm using it to test print the various versions of my fan housing, so that I can, rather than using my clear PETG for the test prints, right? It's like anything else. You find the cheapest filament you can of the most, and you don't care about the color when you're doing your test prints, and so yeah, transition rolls are good for that.
Yeah. Okay, we got it. Good. Okay.
What did we get?
Group. Got another chamfer edge done there. Like cut in a little bit deep, but when it's prints and sanded, you won't notice it. I guess I could redo this a little bit better.
So when I went to go put this thing together, I needed some crazy glue. So I went to one of my neighbors, and I said, "Yeah, who have kids," and of course they would have crazy glue on hand, as kids do, or as parents with kids do, and found out that they have 2 3D printers that they bought some years ago, and like 3 or 4 years ago, and haven't used since.
Really?
Yes. So we talked about what printers they've got, whether they want to just hand them to me, which I'm sure the answer is no. But
no, it's probably not no. It's probably hell's no.
Oh, it's kind of funny. I was talking, I said, yes, well, we bought the first model of 3D printer. Really? What is the first model of 3D printer? 4 years ago, I think Prusa had their, I'm sure they mean like a Prusa i3 Mark 1 or something.
Well, actually, you should tell them the first 3D printer was something that used weed whacker filament.
Well, I didn't get a chance to go look at it. I just need to go wander over there and check it out at some point. See what they've got. These are the same guys that beat me to jailbreaking an iPad, which I still have not found a need to do with my iPad, but they did so like when the first jailbreaks became available. So I had my geek standing in question at that point. So let's see.
Go away. Go away. Go away. Stupid thing won't go away.
It's gonna load. Come on, load already.
Yeah, it's cutting too much into that.
You're not sharing your screen right now. You might as well.
Yeah, I'll do that again. Okay. There we go.
For we hear you working on your thing feverishly, but see nothing.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I do apologize. Oops. There we go. Last curving was I had to put in here. So group. Not really happy with that edge though.
Here, let me just design one up for you in Onshape right quick.
Not too worried about this lip here. But it is a little deeper than the other ones. But you know what? For the small size that this is, I'm happy with what I got here. So, and then I'll print it out tomorrow because I'm not going to be home tonight to do any work on my printer because my printer is still out of whack. It seems that somehow I've ended up getting my printer into a position where prints aren't looking right on it anymore. So I don't know what I got.
That's very generic. What do you mean not right?
I don't think my bed's leveled properly.
Which printer are we talking about?
This would be the Ender 3.
No way, no auto bed leveling there.
Yeah, well, I have the auto bed leveler on there from TH3D.
Yeah.
But it seems that even when it's on, I'm not getting a straight level. So I think at the time when I installed it, my bed came out of whack somehow, and I've never refixed it. So I just got to go back and redo it. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a few
I
minutes.
found that auto bed leveling will only adjust for a certain degree of skew. So at least with the most generic bed leveling settings within the distribution Marlin, or the main Marlin distribution, it will give you a bed leveling failure if your bed is, for example, tilted at 30 degrees or whatever. I think it'll only level up to like 3 or 4 degrees, and I'm pretty reasonably sure you can actually set that. Maybe a half a degree. I'm not sure. You can certainly set it within Marlin to tell what the maximum offset, maximum adjustment that it's allowed to make per millimeter or something is. And anything beyond that will cause a bed leveling failure.
Yeah, so it looks like I may be moving my channel over to Twitch TV in a few more days.
Really?
I'll explain it. This channel will be moving over there due to the fact that what's happening over with YouTube and their idea to screw over all creators.
Oh, with the COPA thing?
Yeah. I may have to move over there.
I think people are making way too much of a big deal out of that.
There's a lot more because if your channel's not profitable enough to them, there's talk they cancel those channels. They're going to be canceling those channels completely.
That's also nonsense. The issue is
we're starting to see it all right. 2 channels got kicked off.
Well, there were a couple of channels that got axed because they were participating in Markiplier's spam the channel with emoji little promotion that he did.
Yeah, but not him. I'm talking. There was another channel that recently got killed, and it was not because of chats. It wasn't because people weren't getting killed. The actual channel got killed.
Huh.
YouTube shut him down. Due to the fact he had some kids on and they were gaming in Fortnite, and yeah, they killed the channel. YouTube said that this breaks our copyright. This is a break in some type of copyright infringement or something like that. But it's not. But a lot of Fortnite players have already noticed it. Some people in that have Minecraft channels are noticing that they have no more ads allowed. So, and these channels are small. They're only like about maybe 500, or they have like over 1,000. They lost their advertising, the 1,000 ones, because there's kids playing games in the video.
Yeah, well, if you have kids in your video, that's not so good.
No, this is a kid that was playing Minecraft, and he used to have ads all the time, and they said, "Oh, you can't have ads anymore."
Right, but you're over 13, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I am over 13, but if I had,
you don't have to worry about it for your channel.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot of weird stuff over there, and I'm like going, okay, well, if this continues, I will close up this channel and go.
It doesn't strike me as weird. It strikes me as it makes perfect sense. I mean, the COPA regulations, whether or not they're executed reasonably, were implemented for very good cause. And you're not going to get caught up in that because you don't have kids on your channel and you aren't one. And so you're not going to run into advertising problems. And you're not going to get your
I am not certified for advertising. So there's one of the rules that I was reading in the new terms and services, which something a lot of people don't notice, is that if you have a channel and you're not above a certain amount, you may not get advertising at all, period. And if that's the case, your channel may get discontinued by YouTube standards.
Yeah, I suppose. But that really applies mostly to kids' channels because they can't do any sort of tracking on the channel. So they can't really justify they can't really demonstrate that advertising on those channels is effective.
I don't know if you see that. That's Robbie Mac's new handle. If you go to buttrium.com, it just takes you to Mr. Buttram's what do you call it?
Patreon page?
No, it takes you right to a no, that's why we got buttrium.com. It takes you right to, if I remember correctly, that link still takes you into his he bought buttrium.com, and he's pointed it to the Sunday Night Makers show, and he's like, yeah, anytime you want to find our channel, just go to buttrium.com and you'll find the Sunday Night Makers channel.
If it were me and I purchased buttrion.com, I would certainly just point it to my PayPal page.
Yeah. Robbie back. Point it to a PayPal page that goes right back to Ryan Buttram.
Yeah. I still don't understand the value proposition of Patreon. It makes no sense to me that people are so lazy that they can't be bothered to, if they've got their own website, which is easy to do. I don't understand why they can't just drop in the code to allow them to use Stripe directly for subscriptions, or PayPal directly.
Well, PayPal has some issues, and honestly, I wish I didn't have to say, I have a Patreon page, which I don't say a lot of, or I have a Streamlabs link also that allows you to pay directly into my stream. And this all goes strictly back to PayPal.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't forget, people, sub to Colin.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, getting that all aside,
I guess I should say hi or something. Why is it? I can't leave a comment from here, can I?
you should be able to. Okay.
Yeah, only the administrator can actually post a comment in the.
Yeah, that's
chat.
a little bit of pain, but
I guess if I logged in, I might be able to. That's what it is. I got to log in. I wonder if it's going to let me. No, it's going to kill my session if I attempt to log.
Might. So just went to twitch.com just for fun. I'm just going to see if Ricky's on here. All right, CK. Let me see if I can open up Discord here. He is saying he's playing World of Warcraft, so I'm going to type in his name and see if I can find him.
Which Ricky is this?
Our favorite country singer.
Oh, okay. Now that there's another Ricky that is a big gamer on there.
Yeah, not him. What is Ricky? It's Tanner 3D he goes by, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's Tanner Slayer. No, that's not him.
That's his arch enemy.
Yeah. No, Tanner 3D doesn't exist. Maybe it's... Sure. I have a few people I'm logged on to. I have logged in here. If anybody knows, can someone check to see if you see if he's streaming? If anybody's signed up to his Twitch channel, just check. So we can go in there and just say, hey, what are you doing playing games?
Yes, you should be singing. Why are you not singing?
Yeah.
Or designing military vehicles. For we have seen you do two things, and we will judge everything else you do on that basis.
Well, that's mean, man. That's mean. No.
Colin's PayPal page. Of course, that would make me an asshole.
No, don't play to his page. Put it to my page. I'm the one that's broke. Wait, you're saying Colin's more entertaining than I am? Gee, thanks, guys. All you see is a cup of coffee getting drink.
Yeah, but it's like a time lapse. See, now it's emptier, right?
Oh my god.
And now it's even emptier. Like a time lapse, but more boring.
Yeah, I found his YouTube page is Ricky Lee Tanner. That's his music page that his wife runs for him.
Yeah, I found him on Facebook at one point.
Yeah, he used to put up a lot of stuff on Facebook all the time.
Yes, he was very helpful in helping me pick out some music editing software a while back.
Oh, there's a lot of good software out there nowadays. Not as much as there used to be, though. I find that a lot of the newer stuff is not as good as it used to be. Like they do a simple change. They changed a little bit of the language, and then all of a sudden it's just garbage again.
Well, the freemium model of a lot of these things have been quite quite well refined at this point. So they'll come up with that one key feature, or I guess the way to do it is to make your entire software free until you identify the most important feature that you can then make a premium feature in subsequent releases. Um, and then, of course, remove the earlier versions from availability to download. But
Yeah.
we were very impressed. It is a digital audio workstation that is sort of the open SCAD of audio workstations.
True.
So we were able to automate our entire process. It's very cool.
Well, it looks like one of our friends just posted something.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Riley, Ender 3 getting started. Upgrade mods, Chris's basement.
Oh, is he still doing? He's doing that series where he did the unpacking and first print, and then now he's doing mods on that Ender 3. So it's like Ender 3 through the years or through the months or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you look at like I know with our friend Ricky, Mr. Tanner 3D, he hasn't really posted anything in the last says 2 months ago. Oh no, he posted a week ago. Sorry, my mistake. But yeah, we haven't seen him on here as much anymore. I guess he's busy with his life and playing World of Warcraft.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been very active on here either. I got back from Earth.
And what happened to your Earth episode?
I fell asleep. I was still recovering. Seriously, that weekend that knocked me out for like until Thursday of the following week. I was just sore and tired, and it's exhausting.
Yep. Those shows are exhausting, and especially when you're part of the show, they want to feed you beer on Saturday.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And then more beer, and I just said, I'm tapping out.
I had a chat with Joel Telling about matter hackers when I was not quite plastered, but halfway plastered. That was quite entertaining.
Oh, really? What did you have to say about matter hackers?
Well, back when he was first, getting his channel off the ground as a commercial venture, he had Matter Hackers as a channel sponsor, which is something you definitely don't ever want to do. You don't ever want to characterize a sponsor as a channel sponsor, because then suddenly you can't interact with that company's products in any way.
Yeah.
You want to do sponsorships by video. That way you can say, sponsor for this video is thus and such. Sponsor for this other video is NordVPN, which is almost legitimate, except kind of scary and insecure. But either way, the point is not related to this 3D product that I'm reviewing. Because he did this sort of showcase of the Pulse XE or whatever it was, their Matter Hackers printer that does nylon or whatever.
Yeah.
So sort of equivalent to a Mark II in construction, but priced like a Mark III, where the Mark III had just come out like a month earlier.
Yep.
So they sort of missed it was a poorly priced product, and they sort of missed their market opportunity at that price point. And and so I was arguing in the comments to that video about it, and my first comment was, pinned by Joel, and then the thread went on and on and on, and some Matter Hackers guys got involved, and I said, well, here's the bill of materials as we've seen it. Feel free to post a correction, guys from Matter Hackers, if you want, which of course they didn't do. But what it came out to was Matter Hackers was charging like $270 more than you would end up for the same item as you would get for if you went and outfitted a Mark III in the exact same way, i.e., with a ruby nozzle and a Garolite sheet, which was really the only thing that they had done. So I went on and on about this, and in these comments back and forth with a bunch of guys, and I think I had been reasonably persuasive, but then there was this comment from Matter Hackers that said, "We are not con artists." To which I replied, "I don't think anyone ever accused you of being con artists. We just simply said your product is mispriced for the current market." And then the guy never responded ever again. And we've never seen that guy at a conference or heard of him doing a Matter Hackers video anymore. I don't know if he got fired or what, but he disappeared. Or they took him off of social media or something.
I don't know if you saw the one that started. I started a thread basically. What's his face was saying he wants to bring a couch to Murph, 3D printing professor, Joel. So I said, sure, I can bring in the couch, but I have to have my ham license. He's like, what does having a ham license have to do with the couch? Well, for me to be able to borrow the trailer, I need to have my ham license done because it's going to have all the ham radio equipment in there, so we can set up so we can do like a special event station that when it's quiet. All this. And I said, and I know Tiggers will be in there like a dirty shirt. All of a sudden, Tigger says, ham? Radio? Trailer? Really? Let me in! Let me in! In big bold letters on Twitter. He's like, let me in! Let me in! And then I had about 2 other ham operators all of a sudden pop on.
We're hearing while you're doing your recording, oh, someone wants to be let in for their free burgers. We don't have burgers. We only have ham.
Yeah.
Hawaiian burger for you, spam on a roll. And suddenly the knocking on the door ceases and it quiets down so you can do your recording.
Yeah. Mr. Butchum, that's just me hitting the like button and see if I could get you guys to start hitting the like button, before you guys, as we chat, hopefully you guys will hit like and, get this video up there. Because I have a hater. He goes on my videos and hits thumbs down. I
don't know. I encourage people to
I don't know who's hitting the thumbs down, but I have a feeling I know who it is. If I ever find out a way to block him, I will block him.
I encourage people to dislike my videos.
Well, I don't mind if they dislike it. Just tell me why you disliked it. Just don't hit dislike it.
I don't. If they want to comment, that's fine too. But if you just hit dislike, then it's easier to convince people to hit dislike than to like. And,
yeah, that's true.
It has the same impact as far as YouTube is concerned. So
yeah, analytics go.
Interaction is interaction.
That's true. I guess so.
So just play the odds. Tell people to dislike your videos. And
yeah, there's only 3 of us watching. I know there's only 3 of you guys watching, but who knows? Maybe somebody might come back later and hey.
So I'm not suggesting that people should dislike Ron's videos. I'm suggesting you dislike my videos.
Oh, okay. So we're just going to hate on you, eh?
Yeah.
All right. That sounds fair.
Everyone should go watch my videos and then dislike them.
Yeah.
But you have to watch the entire video before you can dislike. I have 8 and 10-hour videos. So
yeah, as Mr. Butchum also says, he gets one every video. Yeah, we know who that is. That's Robbie Mack for you. That's your wingman, causing you headaches. I'm just kidding with you, Robbie Mack. You're not the one hitting it. I know that.
You can now also disable users seeing the rating. I know you can disable users seeing the viewer count or the subscription count, but you can also hide the rating too now.
That's new.
I guess it makes sense that you can do all those things.
I've never seen that in analytics though. Like if you look at my analytics, let me pull up. I don't mind sharing my screen analytics with you guys. Let's see if we can pull this in. There we go. I'm just going to move this so I can easily work in this. Let's go to youtube.com. Okay, I watched a couple of this guy's videos and it was interesting, but then I got tired. It was only for one video, and now I get fed it all the time. It's like, I only watched one video of his. Why am I getting stuck with having to watch them?
Is that a Mandalorian video in the upper right?
Pardon me?
Is that no? That's not the Mandalorian.
Yes.
In the upper right. Yeah.
This is another
helmet. There it was. Yeah.
Oh no, it's just another video.
Which I was very unimpressed with, by the way.
I heard it's not the greatest show. I heard it was kind of rushed.
No, I mean it's certainly better than the Last Jedi, but then again, it's easy to be better than the Last Jedi. No, it's interesting because it's supposedly extremely expensive. They spent a bunch of money to produce the thing, but none of that shows up on screen. It lacks the epic scope that you would expect to see. And this is one of those things that Jon Favreau has done a bunch of interviews about, right? He's got this video wall technique that apparently is, he thought would be better than green screen in some way because the actors could see the set that they're interacting with. So it's basically just giant LED TVs, effectively, that in place of green screens, and apparently they're using. Is Epic the one that produces the Unreal Engine? I think it is. But they're using the Unreal Engine to generate and animate render the 3D world as it's displayed on these screens. And that whole thing just reduces the epicness of the scope, the epic nature of the scope of the show is drastically reduced. I mean, as compared to, say, Dune or Lawrence of Arabia, where you have these giant sweeping scenes of desert, which were basically matte paintings, most of them, right? But what they're doing with these LED video walls just shrinks that whole experience down to nothing. And the set for the Mandalorian ship is just tiny, and their introduction to the character was just uninteresting. He just opens a door and walks in, and his voice isn't really authoritative in any way. He's just sort of, yes, I'm here. I am the Mandalorian. It was very disappointing.
Maybe the next episode will be better.
Maybe. I might watch the next episode. It's not bad, not as bad as Batwoman.
Oh, good Lord! Don't get me going on that show. Hey, Joe Pike made it in the room. Everybody, Joe Pike! Yay!
Hey, Joe. How's it going?
Come here, Joe. Hit the like while you're in here.
You're very demanding.
Yeah, I am very demanding.
At least I said hi to him first.
Well, he likes the new Mandalorian.
Okay,
so
Joe, here, hop on. Tell us why it's good. I mean, it's constructed well, like it's shot well, but it just doesn't have the scope that you would expect it to have. I mean, you could easily have shot the Mandalorian from a lower angle so you could look up at this imposing figure as he walks into the cantina, for the first time. They could have done so much more with that in just a basic way. It was edited reasonably, but the soundtrack was horrible. It was just.
Well, there was another problem with Disney last night. I don't know if you knew about it, but they were having issues with their service all day long.
Oh yeah, they didn't scale their service sanely. I mean, how does Disney fuck that up? That's like
because Disney doesn't give two shits about their audience, and that's the real truth.
But still, as a production company, how do you screw that up? It's just
because they're running it off their own servers. They have their tech support was running it off of their servers, and they told them not to open it up for everyone to be able to log in. And with the amount of people that were logging into it was causing it to crash every 10 seconds.
Right, but I guess my point is that, you've been in IT. I've been in IT for 20-something years. We all know that if you're going to deploy a service like this, make sure that you can scale it quickly.
Yeah, but they're not IT. They're people with board suits that want to do it cheaply as possible.
There are well understood techniques for doing this, and you could easily have solved that problem. It just boggles the mind that they didn't do it. It's not like they didn't have the money.
Men in suits. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. No, Joe, I really want to understand what was amazing about it. I was quite underwhelmed by it. I mean, if you want to hop on and explain it, because it was a basic story. The individual components of it were interesting. The blacksmith shop and the cantina and so on. But it just, I don't know. I came away from it very underwhelmed.
I have not seen it yet personally myself, but hopefully I'll be able to see it this week. I am signing up for Disney. I didn't want to see what's on their channel. I just want to sign up just to see what's on there and then make my decision if I want to take it or not.
Do they give you a free chunk of time? I imagine.
Yeah, you get 1 month free.
Well, I would think that you would want to wait until the end of the Mandalorian run, so all of the episodes are up there first, wouldn't you?
No, not really, because there's other stuff I want to watch on there. But the new Guardians of the Galaxy TV series are going to be airing on there, so that's supposed to be more based. That's supposed to be a cartoon style, but it's going to be continuing where they kind of left off in the Avengers. So,
is it a cartoon or cartoon?
It's going to be cartooned, and so it'll be in cartoon format,
animated.
But it's going to continue the storyline, like fill in blanks from what happened after Avengers for the new third movie.
I can see that would be fun.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's your day at the office today?
Oh, not bad. We had got dumped on snow here on Monday, so.
Oh, so you don't have to tell me about it. I know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably got pounded with the same stuff. I don't think Colin got hit with it. I think it was all rain by the time it got to Colin.
I just got cold. It was.
You mean like the 7 degrees we had overnight last night?
We had, yeah, right. Well, in North Carolina, when it goes below freezing, it's cold. It was 37 degrees yesterday afternoon, and it was 32 degrees this morning. And they always try to make a big deal about it, talking about the wind chill factor. Yeah, but it feels like it's 25. Yeah, but it's still not quite below freezing. And that's the problem with North Carolina. It just gets to freezing. And so overnight it'll freeze, and then in the morning it'll thaw, and you end up with all sorts of black ice and other horrible slick spots on the road. It's just horrible. It's bad driving. And people in North Carolina don't understand how to drive in snow or ice whatsoever.
That's a lot of states.
Yeah.
That is a lot of states. It's funny. It's funny here in Michigan. We get a lot of snow, and even people that have lived here their whole lives still don't know how to drive in the snow.
But
it seems like they forget about it the first within the first hour of them driving. Oh, hey, I've driven in it for my whole life, but I don't know how to drive in it right now.
Well, Michigan, the municipalities are smart enough to realize that we get snow, whereas in North Carolina, they say, well, we get snow every year, but it's only one snowstorm pretty much per year. So we're not going to invest in any snow clearing equipment whatsoever. So when it snows, everything comes to a grinding halt for a week. I mean, the impact to the North Carolina economy of every business being closed for a week has got to justify, owning some snow clearing equipment. It's kind of crazy.
See, there's the problem. You're being logical for an illogical government.
I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. All right, so explain to me the Mandalorian here, because I was excited about it. I really wanted it to be.
Okay, let me start off by asking you how much of the cartoons you've watched.
I've not.
That's part of the issue. If you haven't watched any of the Clone War cartoons, then
I'd seen some of them when my girlfriend's kids watched them. That was years and years and years ago.
Yeah. So if you watch like all the Clone War cartoons, they've got a huge backstory on the Mandalorians. On that, you see a lot of Ben Kenobi or Obi-Wan. He interacts with essentially it's the queen of that planet numerous times, and they've kind of got like a on and off again relationship where you could tell they had like a love relationship in the past, but obviously he chose the Jedi Order over her and blah 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 and all that other kind of stuff. But there's also the whole concept of like the Mandalorians themselves, like the people, the society. It's all built into that Clone Wars cartoon. So if you go back and watch some of that, now that you have the Disney streaming service, and also I don't know if anybody's out there watching. If you have Verizon right now, Verizon gives you 1 year free of Disney Plus, if you are an unlimited data subscriber. So I just found that out in a text or on a I think it was either on a Facebook post or a Twitter post yesterday. I saw that.
I saw it on
like,
Twitter.
oh, hey, crap.
Facebook. I saw it everywhere.
I hadn't seen it, but also I don't get on the streaming or the medias nearly as much as everybody else. Hey, Red Light, and I don't know if Mr. Buttram or Robbie's still here, but hi to those guys. And hi Rover.
I guess that's my problem. I was never an extended universe kind of guy.
Yeah, you really have to be an expanded universe person and to really get why they're doing this. So the concept behind this, I mean, obviously, I'm guessing if you watch the episode, you caught that it's post-Empire. So this is going to be after the Return of the Jedi, not necessarily into where we're at with the three with the 7, 8, and 9 movies, but it could be in that time frame. I haven't really checked. But to me, it's more of it's a bounty hunter show. It's not meant to bring up any of the other stuff. It's supposed to be
right. Well, I was comparing it to Firefly.
I wouldn't compare it to Firefly, because for Firefly, they're pirates. They're pirates. They're bandits. They are bad guys.
To me, it's the same sort of thing where the guy's in a ship with a couple of buddies and they go on little missions and do, semi-good but arguably questionable things and do their thing. It just seemed to me that the opening scene with the cantina was, it was a cramped little set. The guy, I get what they were doing, right? But they had the
they were given a nod back to A New Hope is what they were doing.
Yeah, but I mean, they had the Mandalorian enter, and it was this unexciting entry of this guy with a helmet, and they could have just shot it like he was much more imposing and a tougher looking guy, but no, they just shot it straight on, and he just sort of waltzes right in. sits down and I didn't see him spill this guy's drink, but that was the whole thing. You spilled my drink, now I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, which is your basic kind of Western type walking into a bar thing, right? You sat at my
Right, and I believe that was the whole point. It was a nod to that kind of stuff.
It
It
wasn't
was
done well.
taking.
It wasn't done in an exciting way.
I
It
don't
was
think it was supposed to be
formulaic.
exciting, but that's the thing is I don't think it's supposed to be off the walls Superman adventure, throw everything in your face, type thing. I think this is supposed to me, it more represents reality. And I think that's what they're trying to get here is they're trying to go, this is what reality is. This is day-to-day life. This is what it's going to be like for this guy. Like, for example, he almost got his butt kicked by that or whatever Nerf or whatever or Nerb or whatever it was or Glurb or whatever. The fact that it destroyed some of his armor on his arm. I don't know if you caught that. His left arm,
Yeah, no,
his armor was
which
torn
also
up.
struck me as kind of unexciting. I mean, the guy comes into the bar. He doesn't talk, which is pretty standard for menacing people. But then when he does talk, he's got an unimposing kind of voice. And
I
then he
thought the voice was awesome. I thought it
goes,
was like spot on. I thought it was perfect because to me, again, I don't want this to be, hey, this is the
but he's
best
supposed
of the best of
to
the
be
best of
bad
the
at
best of it.
it.
But here's the thing. But to me, when they showed that he walked down into that lower bar area and there was a bunch of other Mandalorians in there, to me, that showed everything what the show should be, which was it's not about him being the best of the best of the best. It's about him being and when he said I was a foundling. To me, it says, okay,
Blacksmith shop, yeah.
I'm an up and coming guy. I mean, my thoughts are by the time the show ends in 3 or 4 seasons, because they're going to do the same thing that Netflix does and all these other streaming shows do is, and they're going to go, hey, we're going to go 3, 4 seasons strong, and then we're going to just drop you,
So
and leave you high and dry. I think that they're going to do something like that. My thought is by the end of season 1, he's going to be like the badass, even though they say he's like the best bounty hunter in the sector or whatever.
Are the Mandalorians a species, or are they just a race of humans that have this lifestyle?
It's basically there was a planet called Mandalore, and they are humans, but their culture for thousands of years, maybe not thousands of years, but and although I do think has been thousands of years, because if you go through some of the history of it, they have a long history of they are a warrior caste people. This is their whole society surrounds being these warriors and bounty hunters and
So they're the Klingons of the Star Wars universe.
essentially, yeah, I would definitely go with something close to that. Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe not warlike where the Klingons are going to come fight everybody, but
in Star Wars where they not Star Wars, Star Trek, Voyager, that were hunters, specifically hunters.
yes.
And they were the ones that I was thinking of. Of course, I can't remember the name now.
I get where you're coming from, but I think that's where you've nailed it.
The Star Trek universe.
I guess my thing is a perfect example of how I look at movies and TV shows. Everybody hates the Green Lantern movie. They just beat the hell out of that movie and they pick it apart. I don't go and pick apart movies. I look at it as an overall. Did I enjoy? Did I sit down and did I not fall asleep? Did I sit down and enjoy myself and go, oh, that was cool. Oh, hey, and not go through and look at every single small detail of the show and try and pick it apart. That's how I go into shows. So that's why I thought it was amazing because, like, for example, there was a part in the ship where he's got that frog-looking guy, and you can actually see the guy's reflection in the window up to the right of him, and it's a proper reflection coming back or coming off that window. to me, like some of the small details they were putting into it. Look at the way they made the toilet in there. That was cool to me. There, I'm like, hey, that's real life. You know, this guy's in a ship. The bed to the right of him. You know, the now the one downside to me for me was is they're on a kind of desertous planet, and you don't know if that planet is very deserty or not. But you come into this planet, and you see as they're coming into this planet, you see a bunch of clouds, and then you got a whole desert area, and then you're in the desert and you're looking off in the distance and seeing clouds. To me, that's not realistic. You're going, you know, you're gonna see it. But then again, then I sit back and go, why am I picking this apart? Why am I thinking about this and not just enjoying the show for what it is? It's a TV show.
I guess so. It's made for people who have read the comics and want to see
Expanded universe.
Yeah, I think so.
Interpretation of those locations that appeared in the comics.
Right, and that's really what it is. It's made for people who want to see expanded universe stuff, not to the level of high level the 9-story arc.
Well, the Mandalorian had some part of the story arc, if I remember correctly, in the Star Wars universe, not in like the movies themselves, but he had a point in the series, if I remember correctly.
Are you talking about episodes like 1, 2, and 3 where Jango Fett?
Yeah.
That's another question. Go ahead.
How Boba Fett and the rest of them became bounty hunters, that type of stuff.
So, say again? I don't know if I'm...
That was Colin. Go ahead, Colin.
Oh, I was not meaning to interrupt you, but I guess, okay. So my question is, so Jango Fett was they used him as the initial model for the clones that became the stormtroopers, right?
Yep.
And Jango Fett is Boba Fett's father, and he's a Mandalorian, right?
In a way, he's Jango. In a way, he is Boba Fett. Boba Fett is Jango Fett.
Oh, okay. So it's just who owns the armor?
No. So Boba Fett was a unaltered clone of Boba Fett. Or Boba Fett was an unaltered clone of Jango Fett.
Okay.
So even though he raises him as a son, he is actually a clone. He is actually a clone.
Okay. All right. So, but then all the stormtroopers in the first 3 movies were also clones of Jango Fett.
Yeah. But
the stormtroopers in the sequel trilogy were not clones. They were
talking about the not the resistance. I
right.
see you got
they were
resistance
abducted and trained or something.
Yeah, you got the Rebel Alliance, and then after that was the Resistance. Was it?
Hey guys, we've been told not to ruin anything for Mr. Buttram. He's calling us a-holes right now. Ruining it.
I don't give you anything about the plot.
I did. I did. There was. I talked about some of the detail within the show. Within the.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, Buttram.
Yeah. I guess I was just looking for something with a more of an epic scope.
No, I get that.
Didn't do that for me.
And again, that's one of those things where, okay, let me ask you, what did you think about the Green Lantern movie?
Well, that one was more or less a comedy.
Yeah. See, now I took it as an action adventure, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I was never a Green Lantern fan to begin with, so I wasn't comparing it to anything.
Yeah. See,
one part of the Green Lantern was okay. The other half of it was just garbage.
My experience of the Green Lantern was watching the cartoon in the 80s.
The Justice League stuff?
Justice League, yeah, and he was in like 4 episodes or something, but he wasn't the main part of it.
Okay, so I grew up watching, reading a lot of the comics and stuff like that. So for me, you know, so what I'm getting at is now you've got three different viewpoints of one movie. I really enjoyed the movie and I took it on as a whole and I really enjoyed it. Ron saying there was parts of it he liked and there's parts he didn't like. And for you, you thought it was a comedy. And see, I'm sitting back going, oh, I thought that was a good action adventure movie. And I took it as a whole differently. So basically what I'm getting at with that is you're like Buttram could go on to the Mandalorian movie or TV show and come back and go, you know what? Colin's right. It was not, story arcish where, I really wanted to, go on to the next episode. Me personally, I'm looking forward to the next episode. But then again, I also watch Curse of Oak Island. you know,
Hey, Chris
and
Oak Island is an amazing show.
it's great. But like, for example, I watched last night's episode and went, you know what? They're not going to find what they're looking for in that particular spot of what they're looking for.
Oh, they're
And
gonna
I
say
just,
something totally different.
yeah, it's going to go in a totally different direction.
One episode of the Curse, no, 1.5 episodes, and I realized the half an episode that I saw after the first one was exactly the same as the first one. Has there been any progression in this show at all?
Yeah.
They find a lot of interesting like items and stuff like that, but it's like 1 week you're gonna watch it and you're gonna go, oh hey, they're gonna find the treasure and they're gonna find some big treasure. The next week you go, man, this was all searcher stuff. There's no depositor stuff. And then the next week you go, you know what? There was depositor stuff, but somebody's already taken it. So it's a really good up and down TV show. And the thing I like about it is they don't have background scripted stuff. They're talking from their heart, straight out. They're showing you the stuff, and it's not a made up reality TV show. It is a reality TV show, and that's what I like about it. Almost like Treehouse Masters, and Treehouse Masters is canceled now, and I'm like,
Did that get
I'm
canceled? I
bummed.
actually enjoyed that show. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, Pete Nelson. I read an article. Pete Nelson said, I need to take some time back to myself and get back to the roots of what I was doing. The show has been great, but and I loved doing with the fans and all, but I need to really focus on me for a little while. So who's to say what was happening? He might have had health issues and he didn't want to put it out there, or he could have just gotten burnt out from doing
The show.
production all the time. Yeah.
It's important to get back to the core of the business, making tree houses for really filthy rich people.
Yeah, that's the one thing that always chapped my ass was like he'd walk in there. So what's your budget? not hey, what do you want built? And this is what it's going to cost you. Hey, what's your budget?
Because that's more interesting than the other part. You got to make it so people will watch and go, I need this. I need
$250,000 treehouse.
Yeah.
So are we done talking about the Mandalorian?
I don't have anything more to add unless Colin's got more questions.
Not really. I mean, it annoyed me.
Let me say this, Colin. Give it 3 to 5 episodes, and then. And one other suggestion I might make for you is if you have time, not everybody has the time, go and watch the Clone War cartoons. Start out with the Clone War movie. Start out with the Clone War movie.
Yeah.
Then watch the 6 seasons of Clone Wars.
How many episodes? They're what, half-hour episodes? How many episodes in 6?
Oh, there are 22-minute episodes.
22
yeah, but how many episodes is he asking? I think they ran for 2 seasons.
6 seasons, and
was
I think
it 6?
It's 6. There was a 6th season that was not aired.
Oh,
yeah. Disney canceled it. That was the thing. They just killed it off, and
what it was when Disney
Rebels, didn't they?
What happened is Cartoon Network was producing it, and when Disney bought the show, Cartoon Network lost the licensing to it, but they had already had season 6 prepared, and they had it halfway done, and so Disney came back and worked with them to finish that season up, and then they released it on Netflix only.
interesting.
Okay.
I'll have to rewatch that then.
Yeah, I've actually rewatched the like. A lot of times I'll throw it on Netflix now that, and who now it's probably off of Netflix now, but I'll throw it on Netflix as background noise. And a lot of times I do that with a lot of TV shows or movies because while I'm working on something, I'm actually playing the video or playing the movie in my head as a movie in my head, watching it in my head while I'm working. So I need that background noise.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Speaking of which, like I said, I haven't signed up for it yet. I'm probably going to be signing up this weekend. Only because my mom wants to watch the live action version of Lady and the Tramp because that was her favorite cartoon from Disney. And she wants to see how the live action is compared to the animated movie.
Now, can I add something on Disney Plus? Maybe not
Sure.
The Mandalorian. Extremely disappointed in it.
Really? Lady and the Tramp or the service itself?
The service itself.
Okay.
With the content they have on it currently, I think it's only worth about $4.99.
Interesting. Well, it's five.
Because
I know it's
there's
$5.99 now. So
no, it's $6.99.
what? I heard it was
Yeah,
$5.99.
it's $6.99.
$6.99, but if you want to get the bundle of uh,
Hulu and
Hulu and
Well, see, I don't need Hulu and the rest of that because we don't get it
ESPN,
out here.
it's like 12
ESPN.
or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
Hulu, ESPN, each have their own things. You can get it for like $12.99, and you get Disney Plus, Hulu Plus, and ESPN Plus. That might be worth it. But what I'm looking at, and you can get it if you buy it for a year. I think you can get it for like the $5.99 or $4.99. My point is like they don't have Solo on it yet because Netflix still has the content rights to that right now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that they don't have the content rights on just yet. But for me, from my perspective, if I want to give it over to the kids, my Vizio TV, when I tried running it off my Vizio, Chromecasting it to my Vizio TV that has Chromecast built into it, it would not work. I went to my basement TV, which has a Chromecast, a separate Chromecast device, and I was able to send it to that Chromecast.
It's
Interesting.
interesting how that works because there's some sort of subclasses of Chromecast device. For example, you can stream YouTube to Fire TV sticks as if they're Chromecast devices, but you can't stream YouTube TV to Fire TV sticks. You can stream uh, uh, Amazon Prime to a Chromecast device, but you can't do it to built-in Chromecast devices or Chromecast emulators. It's very they have all sorts of weird licensing arrangements, I guess, that must be in place there to allow that kind of thing. So that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I did have to cast it from my phone too, Buttram.
Yeah. Obviously, the first thing to do is check for a firmware update for your TV to see if it does a better job with the Chromecast.
Yeah, I'm a little curious to see what Apple TV is going to do.
Apple TV's not supposed to have the app for it for another 6 months. I think is what the guy behind me was telling. Hey, Bruce, how long before Disney Plus is on Apple TV? Oh, I thought you looked that up the other day. Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought the guy behind me had looked up. So, Apple TV was supposed to be right away? Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is, how's Apple TV? Do we have to buy?
Huh? Fire Stick has it. Chromecast was supposed to have it, but I don't know. I think those were Fire Stick and Apple were supposed to be built-in applications. Where Chromecast, it was you just used your Disney Plus app off your phone and Chromecasted it. You were saying, Ron?
That's true.
I was saying
apps,
with Apple itself, I don't know if they have an app out for everyone to access it, or is it only exclusive to the Apple TV owners?
It was live yesterday. Yes. Verizon, you can get 1 year free of Disney Plus if you have unlimited Verizon package. You can cast from the phone to the Apple TV, but no standalone app. Yes, but Apple TV is supposed to have a standalone app, Buttram. Yes. Yes. You do it through Disney Plus. You go into their subscription area, and then you just add it. Like if you've already got a Disney Plus subscription, you can just add the additional packages to that. You can the same thing. You link it all in.
Okay, so we're officially, now that we know Joe Paddock is really not at home.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I do have my water bottle here, and normally it's in the video or on the screenshot.
Well, I always keep my Herman Miller furniture in my home.
Yeah, well, no, because what he's referring to is I took I moved over here, and from my webcam I took a picture of my desk, and I green screen it from it so that people it looks like I'm in the office.
Ah. Well, I was just looking at the texture of the Herman Miller office walls there. So
yeah, well, you would see it in that picture too.
Yeah, so he has two pictures.
My point is the texture is more precise, is more accurate in reality than.
Oh, you can't see the fuzziness around my head.
You need to do a much higher res picture with slightly better chroma keying, and you'll be good.
His chroma key is actually really good. A lot of times when I'm looking at it, I can't tell the difference.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Buttram, my buddy said that there is an Apple TV app available right now for Apple TV.
Yeah.
He just looked it up. So if you have Apple TV, so Ron, you were asking earlier about that with the Apple TV. What was your question on that?
Well, I've looked around, but I've not seen an app for any of the other TVs. You would have to have, like, are they saying you have to buy the Apple TV to get the Apple TV service?
If you want,
or
if you for Apple TV service, you can actually. I think. Hey, Bruce, Apple TV service. You can just watch that from a web browser, right? Or is it only through Apple TV? Yeah. Okay.
So, being on a Mac right now, as of the newest release of Mac OS, they include an Apple TV app, which I have not opened, but I assume allows you to run natively all the various apps that would show up on the Apple TV hardware.
Exactly.
On your Mac desktop.
Right. So,
but I want to watch it on my nice 4K high resolution TV.
Okay. Buttram said it's only for the 4th gen Apple TV, not for the 2nd gen Apple TV. Buttram said it's only for the 4th gen Apple TV, not for the 2nd gen Apple TV.
Well, Ryan, that's what you get for not keeping updated. You only
got 4th gen.
You get yourself locked into the Apple ecosystem, and if you fail to upgrade, then you're dead.
It's There's only one show on Apple TV that interests me, and that's it. None of the other shows actually interest me.
The C one.
Sorry?
What?
The TV show called C?
No, some type of horror series that they have on there.
Oh, so I guess there's a new TV series on there called See, SEE, and it's Jason Momoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's they're looking, or those guys they've watched it and they said it's really good. I'm not gonna buy into the Apple TV service. There's just too many streaming services and I just can't keep up.
All right, so what I did for you, if you want, when you're here at lunchtime, if you have the service, you can download it to your device.
Okay.
So you want to watch it here at lunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because what's that? Oh, you laughing at him?
Yeah, it's like, well, we can watch it on Plex at lunch.
Yeah. Yep.
I have my
Pretty
And
much, Buttram.
especially-
See, that's why you don't go with Apple products, Buttram, is because they're so hard locked in. That's why you
Yeah.
go with like an open source like Google Chromecast or a Fire TV or even a Roku. So that's the other one too. Is I think Roku is supposed to have the
Roku does have it for Disney, but not for
Disney
Apple.
app. Yeah, the Disney app built in.
Yeah.
I'm in the Appleverse. I don't want Apple TV as a service. Yeah, it's time for you to get out of the Appleverse, Buttram.
I haven't looked at Steam yet. It looks interesting. I did see For All Mankind. That was kind of cool.
For All Mankind is actually not a bad series.
It's
Good, you
Roku. Slowly for my taste, but
I don't have a Roku. I have Chromecasts.
Screw you.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm just keeping up with Buttram on the chat.
No, but I like as much as I out here we don't really have as many services as you guys do. So getting Netflix and getting the other service I don't mind. But it's like there's so much good TV out this year. I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the TV shows I'm watching right now too.
Hey, Buttram, the other one to take a look at is the Fire TV Plus streaming box, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I
Fire
don't-
TV Plus. That's
No.
the 4K box that they have out for the for Amazon.
Right, but they actually got another unit that'll attach to it as well. And what it is it's a DVR box for your
Fire
over the
Replay.
air- Yeah, Fire Replay, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. So like if you want to like cut the cord or something like that and you want to be able to record in my area it would be like channel 2, channel 4, channel 7
And don't forget
Yeah,
your
no.
Canadian friends, which you can sometimes get too.
Yeah. So in other words, like CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox, CW, those ones that are broadcast television ones,
My
and
TV.
you get those digital antennas in that Fire TV, that Restream box. You can record those shows, and that's the beautiful thing. And you can add a USB hard drive into those to extend your disk size.
And not to mention, with all those type of services, you also have all the diginets. So you get like channels like Cozy TV, Action Network, Movies X, Bounce TV. I forget a couple other networks that are on those, which allow you to watch like old TV shows. Like last night of watching Bounce TV, and at nighttime they air all those old 80s movies. Last time was Conan the Barbarian. They finally re-aired again, which was kind of fun. Watching 1 and 2 back to back, hardly any commercials in it, which was beautiful to rewatch those movies again.
I don't know,
Terminator was on there too last week too. So
my approach to this was to get a digital antenna and a silicon dust HD home run, which is a digital transceiver with an Ethernet interface and Ethernet and web interface and a web UI, web-based UI, and then get Plex. I got a Plex Lifetime. I don't know if they do their Lifetime thing anymore. I think it's
not anymore. They got rid of that.
I don't think so. They see because here's one of the things that, and maybe you guys can help me with this as far as Plex goes. So I'm really disappointed because I have a Plex player built into my NAS device, or a Plex server, and all I want to do is take my my MP4s and put it into that and play it off the Plex player off of the TVs because the TVs seem like they have Plex players built into them.
Right.
But it seems like Plex doesn't do that anymore. Like originally it did that.
They obfuscate everything now. You can get to a view that is a folder view of your content and you can get to it. But yes, I had that same experience where I set up a library of a particular set of movies and another library, and you couldn't easily navigate around them and into subfolders or anything anymore. They've really obfuscated that stuff quite substantially. It's quite irritating. And I have the same thing. I have a Plex server on my NAS device, and then I've got a Plex server on my media PC, and then I've got the HD home runs, and of course, part of the Plex service is a DVR function. So I'm just using the HD home run to get input into Plex to do the DVR from there, and it works quite well. I'm quite happy with it. Another snazzy solution that you should look at is Sonar, SONARR, that will allow you to go pull down all sorts of interesting stuff, torrents and whatever else. I mean,
torrents isn't really what I was looking for.
that's sort of vaguely wrong, so we don't actually recommend it, but it's a neat piece of software from a technical perspective.
Right. So yeah, essentially what I'm looking for though is like is I want the ability to take movies that I already have or stuff that I already have MP4s of, and I want to be able to play that on any of the TV devices in the house.
Yeah,
And I'm looking for a server service that is what a media streaming server.
You should be able to do that off of your NAS device. That should work.
Right, but like but I want the client to be built into the TV where I can just do it right off the remote of the TV, and I don't have to fight with using a Chromecast or using my phone to Chromecast that up or something to that effect.
So that's the thing. If you have a client built into a smart TV, that client will be updated only as long as the smart TV is updated, and it's not in the TV manufacturer's interest to keep that updated because they've already sold you the TV.
So in other words, go get a Roku that you can, or a Fire TV that you can sideload apps into, and just use it through that.
Exactly. I don't own any smart TVs. I bought a couple of dumb TVs for half the price that you'd pay for a smart TV, and they have one HDMI interface and about nothing else. And I just plug in a switcher and however many little dongles I want to use.
See, that I guess that's where what I was doing is I wasn't looking for the smart TV, but I was looking for something with 3 to 4 HDMI interfaces.
Yeah, I mean,
then you get the smart TV because of that.
Yeah, that seems like a bad trade-off. They have HDMI switchers you can get that do a nice job of that kind of thing, even with little remotes. That's kind of cool.
But that's
what I'm trying.
Another
device there.
Yes,
exactly.
Ron. That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was going to say. Is that I'm trying to avoid the massive
box.
remotes, in front of me.
So there was a really neat little open source project. There's an IR blaster that runs off of an Arduino that hooks into Amazon Alexa, so you can talk to Alexa and have it turn on your TV and that sort of thing.
Now that sounds like a better idea for a Switch.
Well, see now
it is very cool, yeah.
Rather than having another remote.
Now I gotta say, my Vizio TV, my Sony TV, and my LG TV, all three of them, and the Sony being 5 years old, had the Alexa skills ability to you add the skill into Alexa, and I can control all those TVs with my Alexa without having to do the third-party product.
It's the function of buying a smart TV or not buying a smart TV. There might be sufficient argument to get a smart TV, but when I bought mine, I was just too concerned that the software updates would not keep up with what I wanted to do with it.
And those dumber ones that you have might have those smart functions still in there. They still might have those as basic functionalities.
They don't. There's no. I mean, it's just your straight HDMI, and so
No network cables plugged into them.
no nothing. I mean, I
Okay.
have an Ethernet interface on my audio receiver, which was kind of interesting, and I plugged it in, but then never bothered to think about it again for years. And then I discovered this random IP address on my network. I said, "What the hell is this?" And went and looked at it, and it had uh, a what was it called? It had a Napster UI on it.
Ah,
It was that
nice.
old. It had Napster on it. It was crazy. Back when Napster was after Napster went under, it got reinvigorated as a semi-legitimate music service at one point, and then that's what the interface was. It was kind of crazy.
That's no longer the case, is it?
I know
It's gone, isn't it?
no, it might still be around. I don't know. Let us go look.
Oh, guys, hate to break up the party, but I do need to get going.
Oh no, you're fine.
So I'm going to end it here. Stick around, Joe, for a second because I want to talk to you. But everyone else, thank you all for watching. Remember, check out Colin. We have his link, which we'll place one more time. So sub to Colin. He needs some subs.
Oh,
and
just for the record, Napster does still exist.
Yeah.
There's
Wow.
a personal unlimited music service with a free trial, and then for business, music to power your band. I have no idea what any of those things are, but it's not dead yet, apparently.
That's funny.
also, if you guys want to support me, like I said, I put in Patreon. I have the Patreon. I have the Streamlab. And if you guys want to find out
Later,
more
Buttram.
about Joe Pack, just go to Joe Pack. Look up 3D and D Maker, and you'll be able to find Joe Pack's channel.
Yep.
So thank you all for watching, and Mr. Buttram, thanks for sticking around. Everyone, have yourselves a great day. Bye now.
Have a good one, all.
Bye, everyone.